You know, one of the biggest problems with alcoholism is that there's always so much emphasis on the alcoholic. And in reality, the family of that alcoholic is the one that they're the ones that take the brunt of all the problems. There's always so much emphasis on the alcoholic, making them aware, making sure they're getting the help that they need, making sure that they're taking an accountability and a culpability of their disease. And yet, in the meantime, as they continually fail uphill, hopefully, the family has to deal with all the issues and all the insecurities that they have to deal with on a daily basis. And this could be a husband wife relationship, could be a parent child relationship, or it could be a child parent relationship. And it always puts family members in such a precarious situation because they're, number one, family, they're not prison guards, they're not the police, and they're not drug and alcohol treatment counselors. They're your family. And they're the ones that have to deal with the day-to-day problems that an alcoholic creates. And believe me, they can create a whole lot of problems. And in my case, as a spousal relationship, and if you follow me at all, you're probably pretty well versed of what the things my family went through. But I mean, just the horror of the day-to-day activities that you had to deal with. I mean, coming home and not having really an idea, and just the anxiety and the stress of not knowing what you're coming home to. I mean, are you going to come home to a spouse who's passed out on the floor? Are they going to be inebriated maybe on the couch, or are they even going to be there? Are they going to disappear for a few days to go isolate and drink? And you wonder as time goes on, why am I going through this? Why am I suffering this myself as a family member? And I'll tell you why, because it's hope. They do try to some extent. Maybe they go to group therapy. Maybe they do have counseling. Maybe they even go to an inpatient rehab or a detox. And they do try things. And yet it fails, but there's always that element of hope. And if you've already invested years of your life in that person, it's not a situation where you just simply walk away. It's never that easy. It's just not a TikTok cliche. It's not something that happens. And that's just one form of a relationship. I mean, if you have a child who's an alcoholic or is suffering with drug addiction, any kind of similar addictions, it's even more heartbreaking because you're going to have to leverage your parental rights onto that person and maybe kick them out of the house if you have that kind of leverage. Or you may have to go no contact with your own child just to save your own mental health and angst. And that is beyond heartbreaking as a parent, as every relationship does. So I tell this story for a number of reasons. And this conversation is an important conversation to have for twofold reasons. Number one, it's important for other families to relate and to realize that there are many other people going through the same thing that you're going through and have something that resonates to you. You're not alone, for one thing. And there's also a lot more than Al-Anon out there. I mean, you have to realize that this is kind of a universal problem, and there's so many life type of situations that people go through this. The other side of that coin, it's important for alcoholics themselves to realize, the horrible things that they put their family through, and that the hurricane that they create in their life, but not just their life, but in the lives of the people and their loved ones. And it's important for them to realize that, because so often the alcoholic is so obsessed with just getting alcohol, consuming it, and getting through their day. It's their primary course. And it becomes a very narcissistic, self-centered reality for a lot of alcoholics, and they're not able to see past that. They don't understand how they're affecting maybe their children, and essentially they're affecting their lineage as well. They could be affecting their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren, and on and on. And it's important for every alcoholic to realize that if they're able to nip it in the bud and get sober, they could be saving literally generations of people who will thank them for getting sober. And really, the last thing I want to say here is that alcohol use disorder is not about ego. To obtain sustainable sobriety, it's not about shame or guilt. It's about getting to work It's a mental health disease, and you have to approach it as a mental health disease. You have to get to work. The alcoholic has got to start working on themselves every single day and make it a number one priority in their life, more important than anything, more important than any job or any relationship or anything, any economic situation, because nothing else is going to move forward until you get this beast called alcohol use disorder out of your life and out of the lives of the people that you love. And again, I go live Monday through Friday right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We also have the Facebook group. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. Link is in the bio. And when you're ready to work with me one-on-one, I have a complete coaching program that's designed for both alcoholics and their family. Set up a breakthrough call. It takes about 45 minutes. The call is free. The coaching program certainly is not. But I'm looking for people who want to change their lives and the lives of their family. And again, thanks so much for listening.